Hello and welcome to my review of the Motorola Moto X. Okay, so I did my unboxing and first look of the Moto X last week, and I've been using it for about a week now. Got it on Wednesday, it's now Tuesday, so yeah, it's been my full-time phone, and as I said in that video, I came from an iPhone 5S. So it's going to be a review of the Moto X, but just a few sort of comparisons to the iPhone 5S and just some of the difficulties I've had coming back to Android from iOS. I suppose the first thing would be the design and feel of the phone. It's a very nice design, well built, haven't had any issues with creaking or the bits feeling a bit loose. The only issue I would have is it feels a little too thin. It feels nice in the hand, but pull it out of the pocket and you're sort of grabbing the speaker down at the bottom here. Pull it out and it's a bit slippy. You can just see there how thin it actually is. I believe it's something like 10mm at its thickest point, and then tapers down to something ridiculous at the edge here. But it's very thin. Now the iPhone 5S is a thinner phone, but I have been using it in a protective case. Now the case itself is looking a bit worn. It's a leather case and it looks nasty. But just the size of it makes it easier to use in one hand, and I can feel I can I have a bit more control over the device with the leather case on. I don't know if I'll consider getting a case for the Moto X. The back's plastic, so I'm not really as scared as getting scratches on it as I was with the iPhone 5S, but I'm very scared of dropping it. That's a big bit of glass to shatter. But we'll see how I go in the future. Just on the design of the phone, it was the Moto X Moto Maker, and custom design. And after the week, I'm still happy with the choices I've made, with the royal blue back and the metallic red highlights. Yeah, it's a good design. Now, just on Android itself, let me unlock. Now, I was coming from Android 4.1, I think, in Galaxy Nexus, and then at that stage I came over to the iPhone. So iPhone 5S came out with iOS 8 on it, and it was a beautiful operating system. I loved the look of it, but just coming back to Android, and it's nice, but there are some parts of it that look a little ugly. Like the notification shade, you just get a list of all the notifications, and in the settings, it can be, yeah, just a sea of black. Now I know a lot of these things will be changed with the Lollipop update, which is currently in testing with the Moto X, but until then, some of it looks polished and then some of it looks a bit cheap. So yeah, that's just something to get used to coming back from iOS. Now the next thing I want to discuss is sort of just some design philosophies difference between iOS and Android. So for example, if I go into say Twitter and open up my Twitter account, now I can scroll down the list as far as I want to go, and if I want to go back to the top of the list, I just have to hit the title bar and it should spring back up to the top. Now with Twitter on Android, or any app, there's no real obvious way of tapping the top of the screen to go back. I think you touch Twitter there, it might, no, bring it down, hit home, and it'll spring up to the top. But it's different for every app. So the Guardian app, scroll down, and if it hit Guardian, no, that, and then home, no. there's no obvious way to get back to where you were. Tumblr, I think you can do that and hit the home button, you'll spring back to the top, but it's not consistent between each app, and I like that with iOS, that whenever I discovered that if you hit the time, or I assume anywhere else in the bar, you would just go to the top. Now with that as well, it was probably something I was used to on Android, but then coming to iOS, it's just something that I had to get used to again. But if I clicked on a tweet, if I want to go back and hit the back button, or I can just swipe from the left and it'll go back. And that's a feature with iOS 8. If you go to settings, and you can drill down into the settings menu, if you swipe from the left, you'll go back to the main menu. Now Android has the back button, which is undoubtedly useful, but it's just something to get used to. If you're in the Twitter app and you try to swipe from the left, nothing happens. You have to hit back up here or use the back button. So yeah, that's just some of the difficulties I've had getting used to Android again. I was on it before, switched to iOS, I've been using it for the past year, and now coming back to Android. I do like those features on iOS. They were very convenient, and one-handed use, swipe from the left, it was very useful, and you could reach the top. But on Android, with the back button, and no obvious way in every app to get to the top of a list. So it's just something I'll have to get used to. I suppose the next thing I really want to look at is the camera. Now, I have installed and have the Google camera as the default. Hi. So, yeah, I've got a lot of features here, like the photosphere, panorama. I have a lens blur effect. I've never had a chance to use that. Camera and video. I also have the twist to unlock, and that's useful if I just want to quickly get a camera from the lock screen. Now, I have had the opportunity to test the camera. I was in London over the weekend, and I was at a tennis tournament at the O2 Arena, and it was a low light situation, and the photos weren't the best. They were compensating for the low light, so I had a longer exposure time, and yeah, the photos were a bit blurry, which is okay in low light situations. I'm not sure how the 5S would have handled it any different. The iPhone 6 Plus has the optical image stabilization, but I think the iPhone 5S might have larger pixel size than the Moto X, but not by much. So low light situation, that's okay. The real disappointment I had was using the camera in what I consider to be fairly normal situations. I'll throw some pictures up on screen here, just showing you what I mean. Now, I do have to sort of caveat it that it was a bright day when the pictures were being taken, so there's not a great deal of consistency as you panned from left to right in this particular image, but you can see here there's a sort of shocking change in quality, and it's very abrupt. You can see the seam right down the middle there where it changes, and that just wasn't. I'm really not sure, how that happened. And I think that was taken with the Google Camera app, and then I had to try the Moto camera app. And here's the same sort of panorama feature in indoors, and it's not the best quality, but it was a low light situation, as I say. And then here's another panorama taken in a store in Stratford, looking out over the old Olympic Stadium site, and and again, there's just for some reason there's a shocking change in quality that I'm not sure why it's happened. It was taken through a window. There was a bit of rain on the glass. I'm not sure if it was picking up a different focus point as it took the next picture, but it's just such a drastic change. It starts out okay and then unusable. So yeah, the camera, I knew it wasn't going to be a strong point of the Moto X. So there's a lot of reviews saying that it's average at best, but yeah, it's disappointing. Okay, so one of the other features people would usually comment upon would be battery life, and I have to say I'm happy with it. I can get through a full day of work, 9 to 5, travel time. The phone's usually unplugged about 7:30. By the time I get back to the house, it's after 6. So, I'm finishing the day with about 40%. And at that stage, I'm back home. I can put it on the charger. But even I've tried to run the battery down, and it's lasting well into maybe 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and there's that's below 10%, but it's fine. I have seen screen on time get up to about 3 hours, so that's fine. I'm using the 3G network. The phone is capable of 4G, but I'm not paying for 4G. Yeah, so battery life's fine. It was a concern, but it seems to be just about the same as what I was getting with the iPhone 5S. And yeah, that's it. I'm fairly happy with the phone. It's nice coming to Android. Have a bigger screen. Watching video on it is just brilliant. Yeah, and I hope to see what the difference is with the Lollipop update. It should hopefully be here shortly, but time will tell. Okay, so if there's anything else you want to know or have me look at, then please leave a comment below, and if you like the video, don't forget to like. But that's me for now. Thanks, bye.